Yes, come in. Have a seat. Rishabh, tell us about yourself.
Sir, my name is Rishabh Singh. I was born and brought up in Varanasi. Sir, initial years of schooling also I did in Varanasi. Later on, sir, family moved to West Bengal, whereby I did most of my schooling. My family consists of my father, mother and elder brother. And I have done my graduation in mining engineering from IIT ISM Dhanbad. My hobbies include following recent trends in blockchain technology and doing inner engineering program. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you may like to.
Okay, Rishabh,
Yes.
I'll start with your interest in blockchain technology. What is it? Briefly, if you can explain to us.
Ma'am, the blockchain technology is actually a technology whereby, ma'am, the informations is stored in a decentralized manner, ma'am, in a decentralized ledger. For example, ma'am, Bitcoin, all the transactions that have taken starting from 2009 up till now has been stored in approximately 20,000 computers. So, ma'am, blockchain technology is a revolutionary technology that allows peer-to-peer transaction without any third-party intermediary, ma'am. Yes.
And has it been, what are its practical uses? Has India adapted or adopted it in any particular schemes in India?
Yes, ma'am. The government is adopting blockchain technology. The Andhra Pradesh government is using the blockchain technology for land record management, ma'am. Ma'am, recently RBI has also said that they are launching the CBDC, the Central Bank Digital Currency. Ma'am, this is also based on blockchain technology. Ma'am,
What about the Aadhaar card?
with respect to Aadhaar card, ma'am, I don't see any recent trend, ma'am. But Election Commission of India, in collaboration with IIT Madras, is also using blockchain technology in voting purposes, ma'am.
And even in issuing of certificates and land record certificates and all, I think it's being used, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the CoWIN app? Was it using blockchain?
No, ma'am. CoWIN app was not based.
Was not based on blockchain.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, it has an advantage that it is
Not only for currency, no.
the crypto is.
It's not only for currency.
No, ma'am.
It can be used for any other decentralized.
Ma'am, for proving the ownership of anything, it can be used, ma'am. Ownership of it can be land, record in money, then these things it can be used, ma'am. With respect to neighborhood, ma'am, we have adopted the neighborhood first policy. Also, ma'am, we have Act East policy. And as far as, ma'am, being right, I believe that India has maintained. Yes, ma'am. As far as being right, ma'am, the India's foreign policy in neighborhood has been very good. We have maintained good relationships with Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. There is some turbulence with respect to China and Pakistan. Sri Lanka also, ma'am, we have provided them aid during their economic crisis.
When you say turbulence with respect to Pakistan, China, what is it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, with respect to turbulence, I mean for example, China flexing its muscle at the LAC, ma'am, and terrorists crossing the border from a line of control from Pakistan side to India side, ma'am. Here we see that there is some problem. So this is what I meant, ma'am.
Okay, then continue.
And ma'am, also with respect to neighborhood, ma'am, there is some problems also associated. For example, Myanmar not having a democracy and coup is there.
We are still dealing with them. We don't insist on democracy, do we?
No, ma'am, we try to maintain good relationships despite.
Whoever is in power, because it's important that there are neighbors. We can't wish away our neighbors. Yeah. Yes?
So, ma'am, also I remember one of the quote of our ex-Prime Minister, ma'am, whereby, ma'am, he said that we can change our friends, but we cannot change our neighbors. So, ma'am, in this regard, ma'am, the foreign policy is very we take care of our neighbors, especially the smaller nations, ma'am. We also follow the Gujarat doctrine, ma'am, here. So, with respect to neighborhood, ma'am, it is helping the neighbors, especially the smaller one, without an expectation of reciprocity from them.
But we are not, Pakistan is in such a mess. We are not, helping Pakistan in any way.
Ma'am, sorry, I couldn't answer.
Pakistan is in such a financial, economic crisis mess. We're not helping them out.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. This is because in Pakistan there are other stakeholders also involved. For example, ISI, army, ma'am, which is using terrorism. So if we are helping them financially, this money can come back to India in a negative manner, can be utilized for terrorism.
What is our approach? What have we basically told them? Their prime minister spoke in the UAE and said, we are sorry, we've been not doing this, we need to condemn. But the minute he came back, he said Kashmir again. So what has been holding back the whole process?
Ma'am, with respect to normalizing the relationship with Pakistan, I believe, ma'am, a democratic government will always be pro-people and they will not...
They said they're democratic. They don't say we are not democratic.
They do not...
They call themselves as a democracy in the Islamic world especially.
Yes, ma'am. But, ma'am, we see that in Pakistan's government, there is a lot of control of army and ISI, ma'am. We also see that, ma'am, none of the prime minister has completed a 5-year tenure in Pakistan. So, ma'am, and there is toppling of government all the time happening. So, ma'am, I believe that army and ISI do not want a stable government and they want their influence. Rather, they want that...
And vis-a-vis India? Vis-a-vis India?
Yeah, vis-a-vis India, ma'am, they want some instability at the border. This will benefit the army and ISI. And hence, ma'am, I believe that this is the major thing that is holding us back. Apart from this, ma'am, obviously there are some terrorist organizations, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen, these operating in Pakistan. So these are the issues, ma'am, that is holding back the normalcy of...
Because we can't talk and have terrorists coming and terrorist attacks happening all the time. What's the point of talks if all the time there is and this constant needling and constant troubling? And what about with China? China is also a neighbor.
Yes, ma'am. With respect to China also, ma'am, we are saying that aggressiveness at LAC and Arunachal Pradesh also, ma'am, region we saw. Ma'am, I believe that China has, because of certain reason, it is being too much aggressive. Firstly, ma'am, if we see the Galwan Valley issue, ma'am, it happened in June 2020, whereby 20 soldiers, Indian soldiers, got martyred, ma'am. And it happened after India took the executive member body of World Health Assembly, ma'am. So China may be fearing that India would want Taiwan to become a member of WHO or might want independent inquiry of COVID origin. We see at that time China becomes too much active. Secondly, ma'am, maybe China is wanting to re-access our relationship with USA as we are going closer. We have Quad also, I2U2 coming up, ma'am. So this may be second reason. Also, ma'am, China, we can draw a parallel with respect to 1962, ma'am. Whenever there is economic problem in China, they try to divert the issue and towards nationalism by becoming aggressive at the border, ma'am. Because of these reasons, ma'am, with China also there is problem and we are not able to normalize our relationship.
But it also has a kind of expansionist mindset as well and doesn't recognize Arunachal, for instance, as part of India.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that so?
Ma'am, expansionist, it might want to pressurize India, ma'am, because, ma'am, India is a fast growing economy and it is a neighborhood. It can pose some threat to China. Ma'am, the factories also somewhat are leaving China. And
what type of threat can India pose to them?
Ma'am, we do not pose any threat as such, but to their economic development, we might be
They're far ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of threat can we pose?
Ma'am, I believe that China's demography is aging and our demography is still very young and the investors are attracted towards India. Even, ma'am, currently we see that our GDP is growing at approximately 7% and China's is at, I think, 3%. So we are doing better in these things. And, ma'am, because of other reasons, as I mentioned, that closeness with USA or these things.
They perceive that as being anti-China. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Continuing from there,
yes.
What are the core tenets that drives current foreign policy of India?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
Core tenets that drive the current foreign policy.
Yes, sir. Sir, as I mentioned in neighborhood, there is neighborhood first policy, and then, sir, we have look west policy also, and, sir, the also other in other matters, sir, we tend to see our national interests also. So these are primarily which are driving the foreign policy, sir.
So do you see the rise of India first approach in India's foreign policy?
Sir, we saw that in Maldives adopted the India first approach, sir. Sir, we do see that India's first approach is being adopted by some countries. This is because, sir, India is a democratic country and it has its soft power, whereby wherever we do development activities in other country, they appreciate it. However, there are certain issues, sir. For example, we have our infrastructure plan going on in several countries, but they lag behind and they are not as fast as the China's infrastructural project, sir. But slowly, sir, because of our democracy and soft power, other countries are adopting a India first policy, sir.
Okay. So in your extracurricular activities, you follow cryptos very much. So can you name some cryptos which are very famous?
Yes, sir. Sir, there is Bitcoin, sir, there is Ethereum, Ripple is there, sir, and some more are there, sir. I'm forgetting the name.
So in the recent periods, there has been a lot of loss for the people who invest in cryptos. Yes. What are the reasons?
Sir, recently there has been loss primarily, sir, because of FTX collapsing, sir. This was a exchange platform for cryptocurrency, so its collapse led to a lot of loss. Secondly, sir, crypto itself is very much fluctuating in its nature. Its prices are very volatile. So even when we have a tweet from influencer like Elon Musk, it can go up and down regarding this. So the loss is with respect to this only, sir.
Okay. So your father is from forest department, and he worked as a chief conservator.
Yes.
So do you feel anywhere that there is a huge potential that government can take up to conserve forests that is left out?
Sir, can I take some time to think about it?
So let me ask you a different way. Is the government trying to do something to make the participative approach of people in the forest conservation?
Yes, sir, that has been the approach of government. In this respect, sir, there is joint forest management, whereby the management of forest is not the sole responsibility of the forest department, and it is also being managed by the localites. This is being done, sir. Also with respect to, sir, technological advancement, we see that the forest conservation is happening. For example, sir, the Ujjwala scheme has provided cylinders to the rural population. In this respect, they are not going anymore to cut the forest to use it as a fuel. So this advancement are happening, sir.
So preventing the locals from cutting that itself, or they are doing pro initiatives? Is the government engaging in that regard?
Yes, sir, there is pro-initiative approach also. If I will talk about West Bengal itself, sir, the West Bengal government has now taken an initiative to cover its entire coastline with the mangrove forest. This is primarily because West Bengal is prone to cyclones. Recently, Amphan, Fani cyclone came, sir. And also Campa fund is there, sir, which is utilized for plantation of forest, sir.
Okay. And you have done mining engineering. Can you name some mining technologies that has been a game changer?
Yes, sir. Sir, the technologies are firstly, sir, with respect to the coal cutting machine, sir. Now we have sir, in underground mines, we have remote controlled machineries coming up, which are responsible for cutting the coal also, as well as collecting the coal and dumping it in the dumper or in the shovels. Also, sir, because of the coal dust problem that arises in the coal mining, the machineries are equipped with nozzles on their cutting arms. These nozzles spray water and suppress the dust to a large extent. So, sir, these two are happening in underground mine. Even if we'll talk about other equipment, sir, when in seabed mining, the new technologies are coming up, which will make the extraction of nodules from the seabed profitable. So these are some technologies, sir. Yes.
So any 2-3 key features that you can identify in the mining policy of India?
Yes, sir. Sir, the mining policy is highly regulated in the country with respect to the mining plan that has to be done, drilling, blasting that has to be done, and excavation that has to be done. It is highly regulated. Regulations are with respect to each and every aspect or each and every step in the mining process, sir. This also leads to over-regulation sometimes, sir, and over-regulation, and secondly, there is also a problem whereby, sir, it is a uniform, be it for coal mining or be it for metal mining, it is uniform regulations are there. However, sir, this becomes a problem because the coal or the iron ore mine are different and varies from place to place. Even the coal varies, sir, from one place to another place. So I believe that the regulation should be little more flexible so as to allow that studying the local strata, the rock strata, the local conditions, we can design the plan of the mine and do the excavation. Having said that, sir, the regulations are very good with respect to safety policy, sir. We have seen lot of mine hazards in the past, for example, Chas Nala mine fires, but these hazards are no more to be heard of, sir, because of lots of safety features that have come up in the regulations itself, sir.
Are we thinking about the future generations in the mining policy?
Yes, sir. Sir, we are thinking of the future generations as sir, now the focus is on green growth, sir, and green growth, and we are focusing on importing. We were importing lithium batteries till now, and now we have our own reserve. So we will have the entire ecosystem for the electric vehicle, sir. Also, sir, with respect to coal, sir, coal becomes a major part of energy provider, sir, at the present time, and it will continue to do so for some more years, but gradually, sir, the coal demand will go down and it will be replaced by renewable energy, solar energy, wind energy, sir. As far as mining is also done, sir, now the mining is being done in a more efficient manner, or green mining, the term is coming up, sir, because there is less emission of carbon dioxide and less soil contamination, water contamination. So, sir, I believe that we are thinking of the future generation when we are doing the mining.
Okay. So what is this concept of inner engineering?
Sir, inner engineering is a yoga technique which is based on ancient yoga called Shambhavi Mahamudra. It is a 21-minute exercise, sir, which involves deep breathing exercise and meditation. So essentially, this is the inner engineering program, sir.
Can you talk about this Youth Connect program?
Yes, sir. Sir, the Youth Connect program was organized by an NGO called ISEC. This was done so as to provide a common platform for the undergraduate students. From different countries we participated and came to a common city in Shanghai in China, sir, whereby, sir, we gave presentation of our own country. We got to know each other's culture, and also, sir, there was presentation on global peace, green earth. These types of cultural evenings programs were organized. So this was the essential feature of the Youth Connect.
Okay. So, sir, pass it on to you.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir.
Rishabh, something is happening regarding flow of power from Jharkhand to Bangladesh.
Sir, flow of power from Jharkhand to Bangladesh.
Somebody is wanting to produce power and sell it to Bangladesh.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware of it, sir.
You have not heard? Okay, you find out. There is Adani Group is setting up a thermal plant in Jharkhand to supply power to Bangladesh, and they have bought some land in Bengal for the transmission towers. Land has been bought and registered, but now the farmers are saying that they will not allow the transmission towers to be built.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
So it will become like that Singur kind of situation again.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
You are not aware of this?
I am not, sir. I will look for it, sir.
Okay. Okay, now this is a technical problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there some other solution possible?
Sir, with respect to transmission of power to Bangladesh.
Transmission of power without any cable.
Sir, electric, the lithium batteries that we have, sir, that can store power and that can be transferred.
How can you store power in India and send by train to? That's not possible. Come on, think of two technical solutions. I have two technical solutions for this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very simple. Yeah, you instead of you make it underground, but when you make it underground, And if the farmer refuses,
Yes, sir.
at what depth you can go and do it? And the farmer cannot say anything. How much is the right of the farmer? Up to what depth of land does he have a right?
Sir, I do not know, sir.
When you read the minor minerals rules, you'll be aware. You have done mining. Have they not taught you this?
They might have, sir, but I do not remember.
Okay, you check on this.
Yes, sir.
How much right does a farmer have on his land? Up to what depth he has a right?
Yes.
Beyond a particular depth, if they've set up a cable beyond that depth, which is possible, which is not impossible again, then nobody can object. Okay? Or the other way,
Through, sir, we can connect it through ocean also from the Bay of Bengal region, sir.
between Jharkhand and Bangladesh, where is the ocean? Come on.
Yes, sir.
In New Zealand, they have found out a way
Yes, sir.
to transmit power without cables.
Yes.
Anyway, okay. Now, about 2 years back, or 1.5 years back,
Yes, sir.
the shore-based thermal plants,
Yes, sir.
they became a source of problem. They could not operate. What had happened? When India has the coal,
Yes, sir.
what exactly was the problem? Can you?
Sir, I can recall the coal shortage problem that was there, but I believe that you are not talking about this particular incident.
No, coal shortage, but why?
Sir, coal shortage happened because of few reasons, sir. Firstly, there was increase in demand of power because of heat waves that were going on.
Yeah, that is all right. That has been happening, and all that they were to do is to plan more imports. So something else happened.
Sir, with respect to import, I am aware that even Indonesia, which forms important source of import of our coal, they rejected the import demand. This is because, sir, there were heavy rains in Indonesia, because of which the mines could not operate properly.
Okay.
So even in India, the monsoon season got extended, sir, and this is also.
So we are importing coal from where?
Sir, we import from Australia, from Indonesia, from South Africa. These are the countries, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, something else happened.
Sir, because of COVID, the supply chain also got disrupted. So this might be the issue.
No, basically, these plants started paying and taking the local coal. Right? But the problem was what? That the train system was not designed for that. But they were basically shore-based plants, so there was no evacuation system designed for that. Those linkages were not there. Right? Anyway, and imported coal, suddenly supply got restricted. That's what happened. Okay. Have you heard of the Gujarat model of development?
Yes, sir, I am aware little bit about it.
Tell me 3 features, main features about it.
Yes, sir. Sir, there has been emphasis on SHGs in the Gujarat. Sir, SHG, the self-help groups are prominent there.
Yeah, can you be slightly louder?
Sure, sir. Sir, there has been focus on.
Yeah, SHGs I heard. Yeah.
Sir, Gujarat has also focused a lot on its infrastructural development, sir. So they have very good road, railway connectivity. And thirdly, sir, there is business and industrial culture in the Gujarat state, sir. There is better ease of doing business, and there are many industrialists also, sir. Because of this, sir, the source of revenue for Gujarat has been higher. So the government.
Okay, well, that's not. See, Gujarat model of development. One thing you said, definitely industry-led growth.
Yes.
That is one. Second point, you have not been able to tell the other 2 points. Think more about it.
Yes, sir.
One is infrastructure for sure.
Yes, sir.
Second, you have continuity of policy. So they gave a policy stable environment. And third, see, look at Bengal and look at Gujarat.
Yes.
Why? What is the problem in Bengal that industry does not want to come there?
Sir, there is issue of Naxalism also, when Communist Party of India was there for
Law and order.
law and order issue. Yes, right.
Yeah. So Gujarat has a very good law and order. There are three things. Okay. So you passed out of school in 2014.
Yes.
So can you tell two structural changes in the ecosystem, economic changes, which have made a difference
Yes, sir.
into your life? After 2014, two structural changes in the ecosystem,
Yes, sir.
economic ecosystem, which has made a difference in your life.
Sir, the first one I am able to think is, sir, the UPI payments that has been very much easy. So it.
Okay.
Yes.
So how has this UPI helped a fellow who is selling Nimbu ka juice on the roadside?
Yes, sir. Sir, with respect to sir, even the seller of such things have also started accepting payment from UPI, sir. Even they are also having bank accounts, so they also receive certain benefits from the government. And thirdly, sir, many a time even the passerby will pass and they might not be having cash, but they will definitely have the mobile phone with them, so they can make the payment. So I believe the business has also increased because of.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
And when he has to go and buy, say, the sugar cane, he has to go and buy.
Yes.
Then what will he do?
Sir, a person who has to buy a sugar cane.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a juice vendor, I told you.
Yes.
Yeah. So what will he do?
Sir, he can transfer the money from there only and it can get delivered to him, sir. Yes, sir.
So he doesn't have to carry cash.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't have to guard cash at his cart whole day. Right? Look at it from his point of view.
Yes.
And most likely he will not drink liquor also.
Yes, sir.
At least it will be lesser. Right?
Yes, sir.
The promptness, that attitude will be different.
Right.
Earlier you had a 100 rupee note in your pocket, you'd go and take liquor. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So one is this. Second,
Sir, I'm not able to think more, sir. Yes, sir.
GST.
GST. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, Rishabh, you are born on 11 July.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the relevance of this day?
Ma'am, it is the World Population Day on 11th July. World Population Day, ma'am, is celebrated. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is the meaning of Rishabh?
Ma'am, Rishabh is a combination of two words, Rishi and Abha. Ma'am, Rishi means a saint and Abha means one who has a aura. So one who has an aura of a saint is Rishabh, ma'am. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
And what is this Rishabh.ism?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
ISN?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. That is Indian School of Mines, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The college from which I graduated.
Good, great. Okay, so Rishabh, I can see that you have studied for your main anthropology. So can you just tell me any theory which support the link between if a crime is committed?
If a crime
Is committed. So the nature of the crime and the personality or the physical traits of a person who has committed a crime. Caesar Lombroso had a theory, but how does that theory works?
Ma'am, I believe you are not talking about forensic anthropology. No.
No, I'm talking about the personality and the features of one's body
Right.
which can be linked to the commission of a crime.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, certain features of the personality has been linked with respect to how the person will be introvert, extrovert or aggressive. These types of personality have been linked, ma'am. Ma'am, some anthropologists have given their views with respect to the body type and linking it with whether they will be committing crime or not. But more I am not able to recall, ma'am.
There's enough on it when we talk of criminology,
Yes, ma'am.
which is the theory of crime commission and why do people commit crime, who commits crime.
Yes.
This is quite linked with anthropology.
Yes, ma'am, it is linked, ma'am. Yeah, I will.
Okay. So also your social media.
Yes.
A lot happens on social media. There are some good things and there are some bad things. Talk three pros and cons of social media.
Ma'am, three pros of social media is firstly, ma'am, there has been more connectivity among the people. People are more connected than before and across the borders of the nation. Secondly, ma'am, social media is also used by young entrepreneurs for promoting their business ideas, skill, even government to make the people aware of various schemes, ma'am. Social media is being promoted. And thirdly, also, ma'am, the positive is it has provided more opportunities in field of employment and also other things, ma'am. Ma'am, cons are the three cons of social media is first, ma'am, the harassment or the trolling that happens on social media. Fake news also gets propagated very fast. Secondly, ma'am, there is less of checks, ma'am, that whether the news is correct or wrong. This social media does not.
Without checking, it spreads like a wildfire.
Yes, ma'am, it spreads. And thirdly, ma'am, because of social media, there has been less of physical connect between the people, and they are more on internet only. So it has been more digitized and physical aspect of the social life.
So you said one of the pros was that the people are more connected.
Yes.
But don't you think because of social media, they are just disconnected from each other? It's all fake. They like or they write a comment. They send a cake.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I share similar view. To large extent, it is the same, ma'am. People also put showcase or their lifestyle in a very grand manner and these things. So it is more of show off. And
I heard sometimes people while going somewhere just to flaunt it, they write, we are going to this place, and in the meantime, some thefts are committed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That has also happened because the criminals are aware that no one is at the house. So
Okay, so you talked about somewhere ISEC. What this ISEC stands for?
ma'am, it is a acronym in French, ma'am. The English version stands for International Association of Students in Social and Economic Education, ma'am. This is
What I have generally noticed, all those students who are part of this ISEC community, they are more indulged into just cultural and other activities rather than some social activities.
ma'am, they are more engaged in. I could not understand the question.
I mean, they are more engaged or they are more involved with we are going there, we are going here, and we are doing this, that, rather than serving the real purpose of this NGO.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I personally noticed this.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that is true to some extent because people do flaunt that.
And they flaunt being a part of ISEC, that's all.
And visiting a foreign country makes them little more. Yes, ma'am.
Acha, so you have studied general studies also and constitution also. Can you just tell me about the directive principles of state policy
Yes, ma'am.
under the Constitution of India? Which part talks about?
Ma'am, part 4 of the Constitution talks about the DPSP, ma'am. It is non-enforceable, but it guides that how the state should function. Ma'am, it has several provisions for women empowerment, for bringing equality.
So is there any provision for legal aid and legal literacy?
Yes, ma'am. There is a provision that free legal aid.
Which article?
Ma'am, I think it is 39 article.
39A.
Yes, 39A, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So this, ma'am, with respect to other, for example, providing better standards of living to the people, more nutrition, health.
And there is one article which talks about uniform civil code.
Ma'am, 44th article talks.
So what is your take on implementing uniform civil code?
Ma'am, I believe that uniform civil code should be implemented in a step-by-step manner, not all at once, ma'am, because, ma'am, the personal laws, the marriage law, the adoption law are somewhat more biased towards men. And in this regard, ma'am, we have to take the step to bring more equality.
So what should be the first step?
Ma'am, for example, the minimum marriage age of the girls that can be made across all the.
No, apart from across the religion, I understand the first step will be within one religion itself make the uniformity. Because if you go to places in the country belonging to the same religion, they have different customs, different methods, different ceremonies. So first that should be uniform. I mean, if you look at Hindus in different parts of the country, they have different type of things. Even if you look at Muslims, different part of the world, somewhere Sunni, somewhere Shia, somewhere Darmudi, Bohras, they have different type of procedures. So first step should be the uniformity within one religion and bring it uniform.
Then bring it all across the religion. Yes, ma'am, that would be a good idea, ma'am.
That is why it is more politicization.
Yes, ma'am, there is politicization. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, now tell me, when did you go to West Bengal? Like you said you were from Banaras and you went to West Bengal.
Yes, sir. Sir, we moved to West Bengal in 2005-6, sir.
2005.
Yes, sir.
Since then you have been in
Yes,
West
sir,
Bengal,
since
and
the
of course
90s.
for your studies you came to Dhanbad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, but I'm surprised that you have, and your father is in West Bengal, Qatar.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But you have not given West Bengal as your choice of state. Anywhere,
no,
in fact, it's the last choice. Why is it so?
Sir, because the roots are from Uttar Pradesh, sir. My relatives and even my parents' roots are everything from Uttar Pradesh. That is why.
Your parents are not planning to settle down there after retirement?
No, the father plans to settle in Gazipur itself, sir. So that is the reason.
Okay, because normally in the All India service, wherever the cadre is, people generally
Right, sir.
stay
Yes.
there. Okay. Now tell me, what has ISM, your
Yes, sir.
earlier name of the institute,
Yes,
has
sir.
gained after becoming IIT?
Yes, sir. Sir, there has been several gains, sir. Firstly, with respect to budget allocation of ISM, sir, becoming an IIT, the annually budget allocation has increased. Secondly, being an IIT, it has attracted more companies, sir, for the placement purposes. Earlier, there were limited companies. Thirdly, sir, after becoming IIT, the students also are wanting to get into ISM. Earlier, there was little low demand for ISM, and generally, students opted for IIT BHU, IIT Kharagpur. So, sir, there has been improvement from all front. Students also, sir, the teachers also, I believe that although the faculty remains somewhat same, but more transparency has come with respect to appointment of faculties in the college, sir.
Okay, now tell me, with so many IITs coming up,
Yes, sir.
don't you think that the brand IIT is being diluted?
Yes, sir. Sir, many IITs have come up, sir. This is mainly to cater the needs of the students, sir. Because many students are also giving exam for joint entrance examination. Approximately 14 lakh students.
You know what, I don't deny that
Yes,
we
sir.
do require more engineering colleges.
Yes, sir.
But there was once upon a time, there was a
Yes, sir.
brand name associated with IIT.
Yes,
if you
sir.
go to USA or any other
Yes,
place
sir.
and you say that you are from IIT,
Yes,
that
sir.
itself puts you on a very high pedestal.
Right, sir.
But gradually, with so many, like 23 or so IITs are there right now.
Yes, sir.
And the infrastructure, the facilities right now there,
Yes, sir.
what they have,
Yes, sir.
I don't think that they can maintain that standard. So, in that context, I was asking.
Sir, I agree with you, sir, that it is not the same standard. For example, IIT Patna that has been established, it does not have a proper complex only, ma'am, and also the students live outside the premises because there are no hostel facilities also. And as far as brand name is concerned, yes, sir, it has also diluted in foreign countries a little bit because of establishment of so many IITs and intake of so many students into the college. So, sir.
So that prompts me to ask you this policy which has come from the UGC.
Yes,
that
sir.
they are allowing foreign universities to open their campuses in India.
Yes, sir.
So that also, I think, will be a dilution of the brand. Like, say, for example, Oxford or Cambridge opens a campus here.
Yes, sir.
You can't expect the campus of India or New Delhi or any place
Yes,
to
sir.
have the same standard as the original campus.
Sir, it will be up to these university that they are able to maintain their own standards.
Practically, you tell me, will they be able to maintain?
Sir,
Like, say, for example, AIMS Delhi has something else.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any number of AIMS you open up, you
Yes.
can't match that.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
So, don't you think that this whole policy is flawed, or what is the advantage? Big news about it.
Sir, there can be some dilution, but I believe that it is not a fraud policy, sir, because of some reason that the foreign university will bring their own curriculum to the country, which we can learn.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, recently, the West Bengal government has passed a bill regarding maintenance of law and order amendment bill, in which suppose there is a riot, someone, some gunda element damages some property,
Yes,
then
sir.
his property will be confiscated and the damage will be taken from that particular auction. Are you
Yes.
aware of this particular bill?
No, sir, I am not aware.
This is called West Bengal Public Order Amendment Bill 2023. You're not aware of it.
I will look for it, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
please do that.
Yes,
Acha. Another thing is the fashion of name change.
Yes, sir.
Mughal Garden becomes something else.
Yes, sir.
Allahabad became Prayagraj.
Yes,
Yesterday only Aurangabad and Osmanabad have become two different names. What
Yes.
is this going on? What is this nonsense? If I
Yes,
may
sir.
say so.
Sir, name change has Sir, I believe that the name of a city should be representative of its culture, of its history, of its ethos of the people, sir. The name change that has happened in Uttar Pradesh, if I talk about that, sir, even my grandmother used to address it as Prayag, not Allahabad, she used to call. So that was more among the people as accepted, sir. With respect to, so sir, these name changes also reflect more about that city. There is more tourists.
That way there is no end, my dear friend. That way there is
right,
no
sir.
end.
Yes, sir.
So we are sort of rewriting the history, or
Yes.
we are just filling the gaps.
Yes, sir.
Do you know there was a debate in Parliament a couple of days back where the allegation on the government was that you are trying to rewrite the history. The government says no, we are not rewriting. We are only filling up the gaps, the
Yes.
missing gaps.
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion?
Yes, sir. This has been in news with respect to rewriting of history, and I believe, sir, that the facts and the figures should not be changed, and that should be provided as it is. And as far as the name change is also concerned, sir, we should restrict it only to certain places whereby it has more cultural or historical importance, and not apply it to other places, sir. So
Thank you.
that would.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Interview is over.
Thank you.